eosinophilic inflammatory condition of the lung, okay, that will primarily give you just cough. Generally without sputum, without wheezing. There is no bronchoconstriction. The eosinophils are in a different layer, not causing. Your spirometry will be normal. The diagnosis will be either peripheral eosinophilia, sputum eosinophilia, or if you do expired nitric oxide. Post-COVID, I have not been doing that, but that's something that I think I'm going to be reinstituting, is you'll get this patient who looks like they got just cough with nothing else, their pheno's up, and the caveat here is they may not initially respond just to inhaled corticosteroids. Many of them have been on corticosteroids for asthma, but you put them on a week or two of oral steroids to prime them, get rid of that initial inflammation, convert them over to inhaled corticosteroids. Their cough goes away, their pheno. So remember, non-asthmatic, eosinophilic bronchitis as a form for us of what we've talked about is non-IgE eosinophilic lung. The last one that's somewhat problematic is GERD. GERD contributes a lot to cough. Okay? It's through obviously aspiration. It's going to be through acid and non-acid reflux. That will be irritant to the larynx. But I suggest to you, and the data is supporting it, that one of the major causes for people coughing from their reflux is just esophageal dysmotility and activation. And what's happening is they're stimulating the vagal nerve. These cough reflexes are in the same highway of the vagus, and they're not going to make them cough. They're going to make them tickle, which will lead to the cough. Okay? The symptoms may be, quote, postnasal drip, throat clearing, voice changes, but that's going to be very non-specific. That could be cough hypersensitivity, or it could be GERD. What you would like to have is any objective evidence of GERD. Okay? The acid, the heartburn, the indigestion, the regurgitation. That makes you're going to really go and diagnose them or treat them adequately to get that under control before you decide that it's not playing a major role for all. There's laryngoscopy, which can be very non-specific. And then there's what do you do about that? A trial, and this is going to, we don't have time to go through it, but basically going through a twice daily PPI trial, understanding that that's necessarily not going to be sensitive or specific, because some of the issues are non-acid esophageal dysmotility. So let's give you those characteristics of how you're going to identify these patients with RCC and UCC, and you've already heard some of them already. This is a dry cough with minimal mucus. Okay? They don't have objective mucus. It's almost invariably going to be triggered by a tickle or burning somewhere in the throat, but about 25% of them will say it's right in the mid-chest. We used to work them up with chest CT scan, bronchoscopies, cardiac, no. Yeah, that tickle, if it's not there, it can be there, and it could be part of that trigger. Talking is just almost a universal. The school teacher, okay, just, the customer service person, the person on Zoom all day, smells, odors, air conditioning when the car goes on. Those are the things you're going to look for, and that's the irritants. It tends to go away during exercise, okay, believe it or not, and it tends to go away during sleep. But don't ask if they just cough at night, okay? You can ask that, but is it once you awake or when you sleep? Take all those clinical characteristics, ask them on every cougher, and you will get closer to this RCC and UCC diagnosis. So in 4 minutes and 58 seconds, we'll talk about therapy and the new drugs that are available. So we're still in the search of an acceptable cough controller. Cough drops work. The one thing that will satisfy the itch other than coughing is swallowing, okay? Sipping on water, sucking on cough drops is not placebo. It is it's satisfying the itch. The itch has got to be fed, so you can do by swallowing. Sweetness will make the itch go away. Menthol cough drops are great for acute cough, but they're drying. And what happens is you get laryngeal dryness if you use them chronically, so we use pectin cough drops. Old-fashioned antihistamines work, but I do believe as a central modulator. What you'll find is that chlorpheniramine 4 milligrams in every pharmacy in the country doesn't work. The 12 milligram extends do. They're only available at chlorphen12.com or through Amazon. And while there's been no data to support why that works, I suggest to you it's the bathing of the receptors for 12 hours, where in the short ones you are opening up receptors. And you see that with hydrocodone. Hydrocodone pills don't work, but if you give them hydrocodone, chlorpheniramine, extended release, it works like a charm, suggesting that theory. Benzonitates out there, dextromethorphan, not very good. Hydrocodone works, okay, but it's a Schedule II drug, and most doctors don't want to write for it, and I don't blame them, okay? But we do have oral corticosteroids, and they do work. Why do oral corticosteroids work? And the answer is I'm not sure, but there's several possibilities. Well, so we see it in a post-infectious cough, it works. Maybe, again, due to neural